welcome to Jude Studios. Today's video is Get a Feel of Scratch. Now we'll move on to Scratch. What is Scratch? Scratch is a programming language. At Scratch, you use block-based code to write code. Scratch is very useful for beginners, but don't let that limit you. Awesome games have been made with Scratch. Now let's get started. First, how to access Scratch. Some of you might have a Scratch account. If you know, you might know that you have to go to scratch.mit.edu. Here you can sign in, you can sign out, or you can create an account. Well, you'll see a create account somewhere over here, and then you can go through the steps. Remember to not share your password. Now we'll show you how to do it here. Once you go here, you can either go to My Stuff and create a new project, or you can simply create from this tab. This is the Scratch menu. Now, if you have a terrible internet connection, or you just want to save it to your computer and you don't want to work from the website, simply go to scratch.mit.edu and click Download over here. If you don't know how to type URL, simply type Scratch without any extensions, and you'll see more results. If you can't find that, you can simply go to Scratch Download. Here you can go to the same website. Now we have the same website over here. Here in Jude Studios, we'll be using Windows most of the time. But if you have Mac, it's pretty much simple. We recommend you to do direct download, as you'll create issues later on. You'll see. So we'll simply do direct download. I've already downloaded Scratch before, so we'll simply skip this step. Oh yes. A side note, if you're going to install Scratch, do not put it into a different drive. Simply put it in the C drive. This is a tip, as since the boot system is on the C drive, pretty much everything else will run faster on it on the C drive. Now let's go to Scratch. For Windows users, it'll be over here once you've installed it. If you don't have Windows or you have Mac, as I do not use Mac, I don't know where it is, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Here, you'll see that I've installed Scratch 2 too. Scratch 2 is a bit old. It's good in its way and it's bad in the way. So, click Scratch 3. You'll also know Scratch Link. Those are for connecting to external things that Scratch can connect to. Now, this is the Scratch stage. You can such as your Scratch interface to something else. As you can see, this is the thing. You'll see your version. As of now, we're using 3.18.1. Here you can select your language. We're using English, as you know. You can create a new one. You can load from your computer. You can save to your computer. You can edit it by turning on turbo mode, but this will make it very fast. Do not use it. Here you'll find tutorials. You might find this better than watching our videos, but if you don't want it, we'll always use tutorials too. So anyway, here's your title. Scratch project doesn't have a ring to it. Let's call it Jude Studios first project. This isn't kind of true, because if you looked in our website, we've created a game. But anyway, this is a feel of Scratch, so we'll make it. Here in Scratch there are many things. You have the Code tab, the Costumes tab, and the Sounds tab. As you might have guessed, the Code tab is where you code all your stuff. Here's a very simple code. Now let's revert it back to normal. This is very simple coding. Costumes will change it. Let's get a bit funny. Let's change this to 0, and then we'll take out the paintbrush, and then we'll do haha, he's evil now, and weird teeth. This is where you edit all your stuff, and if you don't like it, you can always erase it. Uh-oh, I screwed up. Fear not, because you can undo stuff. Let's revert him to its normal stage. You'll also notice that there's vector and bitmap. Currently, we're in vector. And convert to vector. But as you can see, if I convert to bitmap to vector, I'll make it green. So let's select a few things. Let's select this thing only. Let's ungroup them. Ungroup. Okay, and then let's select this and say we turn it around. Now he's upset. What do we do now? We can simply switch it around. To do it, let's undo it and see what it exactly looks like. Kind of the same thing. And this is vector, so doing things is easy. As you can see here, I'm selecting all this and grouping it. Now, you've seen enough of costumes. Let's go to sounds. This is pretty obvious. It makes noises. You can interact with sound in the code tab later on. Now, this is the stage. This is where everything moves. As you can see, if we did a short script, you can do this too. Simply go down there, there. Mind you, we're doing this very fast. This is where all the code is happening. Right now, we're telling it when we click this, forever, glide 1 second to a random position. Right now, we don't want it to do that, so we'll simply leave this. That's the code tab. Now, this is a sprite tab. You can add many more sprites than the cat. If you don't want the cat, you can always do it. For example, we can simply do something here. If you don't like any of the sprites over here, you can always delete one like this. And if you hover over it, you can either upload one, surprise, you can paint one, or you can choose a sprite. Here you can do many stuff. Same thing for backdrops. And this is a backdrop panel, and this is your sprite panel. For each and every sprite, you can make a name, the direction, the variables it's in, if what you want to show it or not, the size, and the direction it's pointing in. We'll look at this in a future video. Now, let's get a feel scratch. You can't exactly feel it without doing something. Let's make a simple script. Oh no, we're selected on stage. We can't exactly do it. Let's do the surprise time. Looks like it's a short one. Allows me to get a surprise backdrop. Okay, this is our first thing. To get a feel scratch, you might not like this one. Then we can simply go to my block and we can make a block. This block can be used over and over again. In real life programming, this is called a function. Let's call this block say hello. Okay, so now we can simply do this. Define say hello. Here is saying what we should do when we run say hello. How do we make it say hello? Oh, here's the block. But it kind of doesn't make sense. What if we can make the sound? Here you can go back to your extensions tab. You can see add extension and click. You can make music, you can draw with pen, you can sense video motion with your camera. You can do text to speech. This is what we want. You can translate. You can make anything into a key. This is make collaboration with Joy Labs and the Makey one. Here's the microbit. As you can see, my partner will tell you how to use this with Scratch, the Mindstorms, Lego Boost, Lego Wido 2.0, and this. I'm not sure what this is. Let's choose text-to-speech. This is the one we want. Here, we can set it to something. Let's see what ultra sounds like. That didn't make any noise. I wonder why. That made noise. This is debugging code, by the way. Let's stop the code. And then we got this. Now we can simply go to Vents and do this. So when this flag is clicked, it'll do that. Now remember this, we can't exactly drag and drop it here. It doesn't work. Simply go to my blog and you'll see say hello. Add this say hello over here. It says hello, except we can't hear it. That's a problem. We'll work on that later. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you had fun. Goodbye.